33-story hotel and condo project?
I'd probably be
okay,
like
like
that.
stop, tap.
This is a plan by the community for the community.
This one here. Showing me.
No problem, Ken. Thanks for having me.
It's Kent Molgat for Kelowna Now. Fresh on the heels of winning MasterChef Canada, Beccy Stables from the Edmonton area moved here to Kelowna where she plans to set up a catering company. But first, she sat down with Kelowna Now to talk about the victory and her plans. Becky, you got on to MasterChef Canada with no actual cooking resume behind you. So tell me how you sort of got this going.
Well, like anybody, I started baking when I was like a young kid with my mom in the kitchen. And then when we moved to Canada, actually, I got more into like baking, just super simple stuff. And then it progressed into the more intricate stuff. And then it progressed into the savory side. So it's just like a natural progression for me. And it was just a hobby. Like I never done anything professional or anything like I wanted to, but I couldn't because I was still quite young.
So here you are, just a kid really. And you just personally took an interest in this? Started looking things up, how to prepare this meal and that? Just a natural interest.
I just love how much you can learn from cooking. Like there's just constantly always changing, it's constantly evolving, and I just love that about that. Like it never gets boring to me. There's something either on the sweet or savory side that's always new.
So in the beginning, were you the kind of cook who finds a recipe and tries to perform it precisely, or someone who finds a recipe and kind of puts their own spin on it?
I just kind of like to do my own thing. Like with baking, when you find a recipe, like you kind of have to follow it. But with the savory side, I never find recipes to find. I use all my own ideas, what I think is going to go cool together in that.
But then obviously you do look around and kind of look for inspiration for different directions to go with your cooking?
Yeah, I love just at home experimenting with different cuisines and that, like, because it's all very new to me, like the different cuisines. So I love to just try new flavors and just like see what different products are out there.
So you've been doing all this, basically serving food to your family or friends, and then the idea comes to apply for MasterChef Canada at like a local event that happened in Edmonton, right? So take us there. How did that go?
Well, I was watching the Australian version of MasterChef, and it was like, there's so many young people, and it's just like such a fun thing to do. So I applied online for the Canadian version and got the email back that it was going to like the local auditions, and then it just progressed from there. Like I got through the audition process.
Okay, so I take it you had to bring your own dish that you had prepared down to wherever it was in Edmonton and then wait for them to have a look at it?
Yeah, it's like they don't really tell you what's gonna happen that day. It's like, oh, there'll be an interview and like a tasting thing in front of a judge, and it's just like you don't realize it's gonna be an all-day event. Like it was dark when I left, and then like a 2-hour intense interview of like the breakdown of your life. And it's just like I've never been in this situation before.
Wow. But why do you think they chose you? Obviously they liked your food, but you think maybe it was because you were uniquely young?
Yeah, I think it was like I was showing people that young people can cook. We're not just like going into school and doing things that we're supposed to be doing. It was like, wow, this girl is so young. Like she's going to inspire so many people to get in the kitchen, and all the young adults to get back in the kitchen, because we're losing that so much. Because there's so many like takeaway services that obviously are easy, but why not just like make your own food? It's so much cheaper, it's so much healthier, and it's that lifelong skill that you can use that is never gonna go away. Like once you learn to like crush garlic, you know how to do that forever pretty much. Like
Yeah. So, but there you end up going now to the main event with all of these other people, and you look around and a lot of them have, sort of more official cooking in their background, and they're all older than you. Yet you didn't seem, the little bits I saw, you didn't look intimidated.
I was never intimidated. Like it was such a friendly group, and like yeah, the only advantage really anyone had on me was traveling. Like, but that's pretty much the only advantage anyone had on me, is they got like worldly flavors that they've experienced. But it was just such a friendly group. Like we all helped each other so much. Like we all like binged everyone's cookbooks, and it was just like everyone learned so much from each other.
Did you feel at first that just being on the show was a victory?
Oh yeah, I didn't expect to get on the show in the first place. So actually being there, it was just like, I can go home like any week and it'll be cool.
But then at some point along the way, you started to realize, hey, I could win this?
No, I never.
You never felt that?
I never once thought that I could actually win. Like even when I was top 3, like on the gallery with my chef's coat on, looking down at Andy and Mike G, I never thought like, oh, I'm gonna win. I was just like, oh my God, you guys need to do so well. Like I was just supportive so much of like everyone else. I didn't really think of it as a competition. Like I think once you think of it as a competition, you kind of like lose what it's about. Like you're making friends. You're not like cutthroat. Like I didn't want to be cutthroat.
Wow. So you won the competition by not thinking competitively.
Yeah, like I wanted to teach people. I wanted to learn from them. And if like you keep secrets about, oh, this is my secret recipe, then how are you supposed to learn? And how are you supposed to learn how to teach people?
What a great attitude. But then you win anyway, which is, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And so shortly on the heels of that, your family, for various reasons, decides we're moving from the Edmonton area to Kelowna.
Yeah.
Why?
Kelowna is like such a nice place, and the direction that like the catering company that I'm opening wants to go, it's the perfect place for it to be. Like I keep on saying, I want to put nature back on the plate and change Canadian cuisine, because it's so Americanized, and I want to un-Americanize it. Like it's so like poutine and maple syrup, they're great, but I mean, this country has all this fresh produce and all this beautiful greenness. Why not capitalize on it like in a way that no one's really doing? Like there's so much stuff here that you can use that no one even knows about. And yeah, people eat like salmon and everything, especially on the West Coast, but it's like there's so much more, and you have all this landscape. It's like, why not? I'm thinking, as you describe sort of the underpinnings of your catering company, a real emphasis on greens, on the vegetable side of things. Yeah, I love cooking with vegetables. I find it very interesting, and like different proteins, not just like the 3 basic chicken, beef, and pork. I love doing like the game birds and all the different wild game. Like I find it so interesting, and it's just there's so much more to learn with like the different vegetables that you can prepare them so many different ways, and it's just I love it.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think that this is a real tip for people who have an event to be catered, that they could have the MasterChef Canada champion cater their event now.
Well, we do private dinners too, so like we come into your home and do a little private dinner, or we can do the events like weddings, baby showers, anything that we can do, like just desserts if you want that.
Wow. So are you able to use your crown as a master chef? Is there any sort of copyright on the free use of that to sort of forward your enterprise as a caterer now?
I can't. The only way I can say it is in my bios on social media. It's like I can't directly say on the website that I won, but anybody else can say it, just not me.
So I can keep saying that you are the champion of MasterChef Canada
over
and over again.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to put that right on your website. Okay, so it's too bad, but it is something that in various ways you can get a parlay to tell people that you're, a bit of a somebody in the cooking world, right?
Yeah, because a lot of people watch the show, so like people kind of know your face, even though like if they don't religiously watch the show, like people are like, I know you. It's kind of creepy sometimes.
Yeah. So you're just practically just finished packing here in Kelowna, but do you already have bookings for your catering?
Yeah, we got a couple of bookings coming up in the summer. Like we're always accepting them. Like in the summer, when people are coming out of town and doing like the Airbnb thing, they can hire us to do a private dinner in their home. And yeah, we're always looking for bookings, obviously. Like we want our business to grow and get our name out there. Like, guys, Kelowna, I'm here. I'm not in Edmonton anymore.
Okay, and so freely plug it here. What's the name of the catering company?
Beck Catering.
Beck Catering.
Yeah, because it's just kind of my name.
Sounds great. So we're about ready to wrap this up. Becky, anything else you wanted to say?
just that I want to inspire like the younger generation to get back in the kitchen and inspire parents and young kids to like go and do the baking thing again. Like it's so much fun. It creates those memories. Like so many memories are made around food. And like I think especially with the younger generation, people are eating like around the TV, eating their pizza. You're not like interacting, you're not talking to people. Like you need to food is such a great way to talk to people.
Sure is. Making me hungry. Becky, great meeting you.
Thank you.
Good luck with the catering.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Kelowna Now.